coming up to the line, being chased, and it was Braden Johnson.
Unbelievable finish.
It was 1/1000th of a second between them.
Green flag in the air. We are racing in the 2020 24 Hours of Daytona.
They go door to door for the feature race lead here on the last lap of the race. Side by side for the race lead in the final corner at Homestead.
Down the back straightaway, 3 wide again for the race lead. This is unbelievable stuff here tonight.
Loma is going to have to be very deep on the brakes, and he is very deep on the brakes. It's side by side through the corner. This is for the win.
It'll be side by side. Davies low, Ottinger high. To the very inside is Garrett low. 4 wide at the stripe. The Audis win here on this outside line. Neck and neck. Who's going to back out? Does anyone back out? Verstappen starts to squeeze on the inside, and now he'll try and straight line it. Goes under the apron, drag race to the line. It's so close to call.
Many drivers look to each have a shot to taste victory every time they're on the racetrack. But tonight, it's all about the bricks as we welcome you to live coverage of the LWRC NASCAR Cup Series from the Brickyard and the Indianapolis Motor Speedway in Speedway, Indiana, here on the K Bueno Racing Network. Glad to have you join us, and upstairs with Charlie Baier, my name is Kenneth Bueno. Charlie, when you go into any sport, there's always the crown jewel races and the ones that where it feels more special to win. Of course, we talk about horse racing and the Triple Crown there. We talk about the Kentucky Derby, the Belmont Stakes, all of that there. But then you come to auto racing, and especially here at this venue at Indianapolis, a win and pretty much anything feels more special than ever. Charlie, you there? Charlie? Alright, well, Charlie is not there, but still, whatever. We are here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway getting ready for the LWRC NASCAR Cup Series here from Indianapolis, and we're still just about a minute and 50 before we get to the actual gridding and the start of this race. Right now, a lot of drivers qualifying, and we're still going to get this situated, see what we're going to go here into tonight. We'll see if Charlie's able to get into the booth here and see whether he's able to provide his opinion or what else might have happened. Says he cannot. Okay, hold on. Alright, Charlie, you got us? Charlie? Oh, well, that's odd. Alright, okay, we're still trying to figure out this. Apologize for the inconvenience. I'm not really sure what's happening. Alright, we'll just have to... We got qualifying right now underway. We're just going to get a little bit of info on the track before we go green. A track located in Speedway, Indiana. Track just about 2.5 miles here at this racetrack. Looking at just about 4 turns. Obviously, you see some of the info there. The track elevation at 730 feet, located in Indianapolis in the United States. Track temp at a hot temperature of 101 degrees. So we're going to try to find if we can get Charlie in here or if...
Hello?
All right, you there?
Hello.
There you go.
I couldn't even hear you there. All right, I'm here.
All right, Charlie. Well, I had asked you, and it was kind of an awkward silence, but I'd asked you that we're going to tracks like these, and if you talk about any other sport, you look at the Crown Jewel races, talk about Kentucky Derby, talk about the NBA Finals and stuff like that. Going into auto racing, you're looking at tracks like these, and especially here at this venue, it would feel a lot more special.
Yeah, this is a special place for sure. Over 100 years of running the Indianapolis 500-mile race, and it's just such a prestigious track. And when NASCAR came here, every single person wanted to win so bad because it was such a big place. And You know, it's a big place to win, and it's a great track in my opinion on iRacing with the big draft down the front straightaway. So I think with that draft and with this high down for package, we're going to see a pretty good show tonight.
It's definitely going to be a great show, and you see the rest of the field right now gridding onto the racetrack behind the pace car, and that means we're going to get to your starting grid for tonight's action here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Starting on the pole with a 50.096 starts EO Media Racing driver Aiden Kirker in the 39. He'll start right alongside the 07 of Quentin Warman in row 1.
And in row number 2, Cole Williams starting on the inside in the 3rd position. Teammate step pole sitter Aiden Kirker there. Driving for EO Media Racing into his outside Parker White from McGrath Simsport. And that number 59, he will start 4th.
Looking at row number 3 is the 87 of Blaze McKinney finally back in action after taking the win at Dover. So he's back starting on in the 5th position. Starting to his outside, the 09 fellow Basin Racing driver of Colton Zimmer.
And starting on the inside, Glenn Bungeon Jr. in that 337 Toyota Camry. Bit of a manufacturer switch for him. I believe he's on a new team as well. To his outside, Aaron Tribble in that number 86 car. He will start 8th.
And back to row number 5, a driver we haven't seen in a while. Michael Kenner in the 14 will start in 9th, and right to his outside. And finalizing this top 10 is the 51 of Brady Weilerman.
Right hand then Kelan Belsha, driver for EO Media Racing, starting in the 11th position. Into his outside, Thomas Lloyd. Not a name that I've heard. He might be a new racer here, making his first start at Indianapolis. He will start in the 12th position.
And then back to row number 7 is SPG driver Shane DiMantova in the number 20 back for action, and right to his outside, another EO Media Racing driver in the number 8 of JJ Hill.
Right behind them, Jaden Lawson, the league owner of LWRC, making his start today in the number 76 car. He will start 15th, and Ronald Holmes starting 16th, another unfamiliar name.
And that rounds out the entire field here to start at Indianapolis. Had a little bit of a development with the 39 of Aiden Kirker. He is actually starting from pit road, so we'll have Cole Williams move one row ahead, and he will be your race leader. At least he'll lead the field coming to the green alongside the 07 as well. So they come off of turn number 4 for the final time before we get this green flag. Happy to have you join us here, and Kenneth and Charlie Baier in the booth. Pace car will come off. Cole Williams and Quentin Warman will lead the field of green. The 2 Chevy Camaros going to step on the gas pedal. We are green and underway from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Well, it is steaming in turn number 1. Cole Williams with a couple car length lead over that car. But now here comes Parker White and Blaze McKinney. We've seen these guys battle all season in the iRacing Budget Line Career Series, which ended just last week. And loose off the corner is Warman.
Warman gets loose off the corner. That's going to enable the door to open for the 87 of Blaze McKinney. Blaze McKinney most recently joined SPG, and he was running in the Bunch of Lawn Care Series in his Chevy Camaro, which you are probably familiar with over the course of that season here on this very network. But now that he's teamed up with SPG, a Toyota manufactured team, he has now shifted over to the Toyota Camry, running this matte black. SPG and Chris Lee Designs paint scheme has got a trouble in the back. JJ Hill seems to be the one involved, and it is. He is around off turn 4. Might have had contact with Ronald Holmes in the 33. But caution is out here on the conclusion of lap number 1. And it involves the EO Media Racing driver of JJ Hill. Gonna take a look, see exactly what happened. And this is coming into turn 4. And we'll see, there's a lot of drivers in this pack here, Charlie. You see 3 wide, I believe, through the back straightaway. There's Kelan Belsha, JJ Hill there as well. This is from the 18 view. Going up to where JJ Hill is right now. He's on the outside. I believe something might have happened up ahead, and actually is. I believe it's the 07 there of Quentin Warman who got involved in that. And actually is. He gets turned around by the 77. Fellow Basin Racing teammate gets into the wall. JJ Hill is loose to try and avoid it, and then he's into the inside wall as well.
And JJ, after hitting that inside wall, didn't seem to lock the brakes up there. It didn't seem to hold it after his impact and came up into another race car. So unfortunate for those two being taken. There is still a faster car.
And JJ Hill probably going to look to that faster pair as soon as he goes down pit road. You see him behind the 39 of Aiden Kirker, who just started this race in 17th. I believe he's going to gain some spots with some of the drivers getting damaged after that incident with a clean race car. He started on pit road. And our first yellow flag here on lap number 1. I think some damage also to Glenn Bungeon in the 37 machine. I think he's going to head down pit road as well, and he will. Michael Kenner's also down here. There's the 07 of Warman, the 33 of Holmes. And J.J. Hill probably looks to be the last one entering, and he is.
Right, an early wreck for these guys. I'm not sure if they took the lap 2, but if they didn't, we're going to go ahead and do a single file restart to kick off the unofficial green flag, as they haven't run a full and complete lap yet. So Cole Williams will lead them back around in a few laps.
So what I was going to mention at the top of the broadcast before we had those technical difficulties, and I was just about to mention, I was going to ask you about the season in its entirety. We're moving on to the second half of this season. We started, I believe, at Kansas after Charlotte, and we had Kansas, then we had Chicagoland actually a couple of days ago on Saturday, and then now we have Indianapolis here. We're already starting to progress, and we're slowly creeping towards to the playoffs very soon, Charlie. And is there somewhat of a different mindset? Is there a way to try and attack, or maybe some more pressure on some of the drivers who are in the point seed, like the driver leading this race right now, Cole Williams or Aiden Kirk, or any of those drivers up there? Is there pressure for them now in this second half more than ever?
Yeah, and especially with a couple of new guys joining kind of midway through the season. We saw Parker White join last weekend, really, and Blaise McKinney kind of picked it up midway through the season. So definitely a lot more pressure than it was at the beginning of the season when we started off at Daytona. And some of those guys at Daytona haven't raced since. So yeah, I think the pressure is definitely picked up, especially when you're running for a championship.
And it's going to be true, especially for the driver leading the field right now, Cole Williams, and he and his EMR teammate of Aiden Kirk are currently leading and 1-2 in points. They have been phenomenal all season long and have been consistent, and it continues to play true as they're still under the yellow on lap number 3. Gonna look at some of the weather, and we see here at Indianapolis, 76 degrees in the air. Got winds to the southwest at about 10 miles per hour, but now just a little bit creeping down, and it'll probably creep back up, but just a little bit. Humidity down at 1%, no fog on the racetrack. It's a beautiful day, and mostly cloudy though here in Indianapolis and the Brickyard, so it's probably one of the best days to go out racing, as pace car has the 1 to green signal, so we'll take the green flag next time by. And although, like a lot of these other tracks, we see a very short way around, it's 2.5 miles around this racetrack, and it's going to take a long while to get all the way back to the start-finish line.
Yeah, a very large track indeed, especially, well, when you think about this track was made for the Indy cars, the open wheel cars, really. And, you know, it was kind of odd. NASCAR kind of faced a lot of criticism bringing these cars to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway for this first time, because to many, such as Tony Stewart, it was kind of considered sacred grounds. And you know, some people thought that it was only a track for open wheel cars. So now it faced a lot of controversy, but there still has been a lot of phenomenal stories, a lot of good races. Tony Stewart grabbing his first emotional win here in the Cup cars. Same with Jeff Gordon as well. Some of those guys who came from the open wheel side on the dirt type of racing. So, you know, this place has a lot of special stories on the open wheel side and the closed wheel side of the NASCAR Cup Series.
Yeah, when this track opened way back in the Indianapolis 500, of course, you can't go to a track like this. You can't go to Indianapolis without thinking about the Indy 500 and how important that is to the town of Speedway, Indiana, and how much of a staple of a race that has been over the past couple of years. They've been over 100 years of racing here at this very track. NASCAR, though, started here back in 1994, and just like you mentioned, Jeff Gordon picked up his win there, and that's what really kicked off NASCAR racing here in Indianapolis, and they've been doing so ever since. They're off turn 4 now. Cole Williams and Parker White will lead the field to green. Cole Williams going to mash on that gas pedal to his discretion, and we are back under the green flag. Hopefully yellow doesn't come out very soon. We'll stay racing here as Parker White has a challenge from Blaise McKinney and the 09 right behind.
And a good start for Colton Zimmer, latching onto that third place position, sliding in right behind Parker White. So, you know, we're going to see down this back straightaway that Parker White is going to get a huge run on that 42 car, and that's just kind of the characteristics of these long speedways, as Shane DiMantova on the wall behind them.
Shane DiMantova in the wall, but no harm, no foul. We're going to stay green as we got the battle for the race lead heating up. Now Parker White, just like you said, got the big run down the back straightaway. He's now peeked to the inside, got his nose under, and they're going to be side by side into 3 and 4. Surprise Cole still holding his ground up top, but now he might have a fight to pick with the 09 right behind, and he will, to try to fight for second behind the race leader.
And another thing about Indianapolis Motor Speedway is how how wide you can take these straightaways. See Blaze McKinney looks 3 wide. You can make that work in these cup cars. That's just how wide these tracks are. They're diving into turn 1. Blaze McKinney on the bumper of that 42 car.
You just see how tough it is. This is coming through the short chute right now and going into turn number 2, and then just like you said, the long back straightaway and the long front straightaways that enable you to get all that draft up. And this is your STC onboard cam with the 42 of Cole Williams. Come through, they're all single file though right now. However, Thomas Lloyd is under pressure and under fire from Brady Weileman in the 51. He's going to take that spot away for top 5.
Moving himself into that top 5 position, but back up front here, we're going to see this run start to pick up once again. Cole Williams might get a run, but Parker White still has a pretty demanding lead so far, and going down all the way to the wall. That's to break the draft there. We see that commonly in the Indy 500, but Parker White still with a very large lead.
Parker White can't really make an understatement how well he's been throughout his entrance to the season. He started at Charlotte, he got a win at Charlotte, then went to Kansas, went all the way to Chicago, picked up his second win at Chicagoland, and you saw that on Saturday night if you tuned into that race here on the KBRN Racing Network, and he has been just stellar ever since. And he's one of the drivers that have been notable in the Bunch Lawn Care Series. He was one of the drivers in the Championship 4 at Phoenix, along with Blaze McKinney, Glenn Bundren, and Nick Miller, so you can't deny the talent for that 95 machine. And surprisingly enough, even with this downforce package, he's managed to pull away from the rest of the field, Charlie.
Yeah, and with the help of going all the way down, just taking those corners as well. Oh, wow, this is a surprising lead as well, but here comes Blaze McKinney to the inside, trying to take that second place position. Colton Zimmer right behind. We'll see if Cole Williams can slot himself in. Looks like Colton maybe has a bumper. No, he's clear. Blaze McKinney can focus on running his laps and trying to run down our leader, and we've seen that multiple times in the Bunch of Lawn Care Series.
Cole Williams will slip back to 3rd and maybe could go back to as far as 4th maybe, as there's a long train of cars here. Now Aiden Kirker is in this fray, like we saw him start on pit road. He's now to the outside of Aaron Tribble. I'm going to try to make that pass work, fellow EMR driver, trying to get up to the front of the field to be with his teammate Cole Williams, as now Cole Williams is under fire from the 09 of Colton Zimmer. So they'll be side by side, and Brady, I think right now, just kind of being indecisive on who to help in the moment.
All right, well, Colton's looking to the inside. We'll see if he can clear him, at least by the back straightaway, but don't look now. But Brady Whelan also following him. So Cole Williams kind of struggling right now as he's getting kind of bumped out from these positions. Blaze McKinney is still pulling away, and Parker White with a still demanding lead.
Parker White lead now up to 2 seconds. It was just about 1.9 as they were entering turn number 2. But you see how large that gap is to the fellow Toyota right behind. Meanwhile, Zimmer and Williams continue to fight for 3rd in the podium spot. But this is one of the closest battles we've seen all race, and it's only been lap 9. This huge freight train of cars, starting with Zimmer and Williams, then Weileman, Kirker, then Thomas Lloyd and Aaron Tribble behind, and then you have to look a little bit further back to find Michael Kenner in the 14. But huge battles here already developing as Brady's now going to look to the outside. What a pass.
But Brady Weileman showing out tonight, moving himself into the 3rd spot. The immediate racing driver Cole Williams still in 3rd place behind Blaze McKinney and Parker White. So, you know, I kind of talk about how he was struggling, but he still has rebounded quite a bit. But Brady Whelan still showing a very impressive performance. I believe this is his best run since his win at Talladega.
Yeah, Brady Weileman, a winner at Talladega. That was his only win in this series so far. He's looking to get something better, or at least try to stack on to the wins. And at least I believe he is locked into the playoffs with that win. So I think right now for Brady, it might just be focusing more on the playoffs rather than just trying to erase it all right now and get more wins to his tally. But of course that wouldn't hurt for that 51, as they seem to have caught Blaze McKinney considerably. It felt as though McKinney might have had the better run. It felt like after McKinney got by, he was just going to try and chase down the race leader, but it has not been the fact, as they're falling back to 3 seconds from Parker White, your race leader, and they're all single file.
And Lucas put himself back into the 5th position. Aiden Kirker, who started from the pits, is now up to the back bumper of Brady Whelan, driving with the Pellet Gaming on the hood of that number 39 car. So looking for 4th place as of right now, started on the pole, so we know he has speed here. Just a matter of getting back up to the front where he could have started.
definitely that is the case. So got a couple of questions down in the YouTube stream, and actually before we answer those, if you're anyone else looking in the YouTube chat and you want to ask a question to us in the booth, you can do so and join the conversation by using hashtag AskKBRN. You can ask any question followed by that hashtag. We'll be sure to answer it just as soon as you send it. Got already just about 2 questions, or actually 3, before we get to, or at least continue with this. And one by LVB asks, glad to be tuning in tonight. Will you be putting out a schedule on when you are broadcasting races? Seems to be one of the better ideas. I feel like that's something we will be considering there in the future. Of course, we'll probably look to our Twitter page at KBRN Network. You can follow that at KBRN Network. On Twitter, we'll probably start to release more and start to be a little more active on that account and getting more information about when the races will happen here on the K1 Racing Network and any other updates that we can bring you there. One by Francisco, and in the booth yesterday for the TRL iRacing Truck Series, and he asked, what strategy could these drivers try to initiate at a track like Indy? Very unique track to what we see in the rest of the season, Charlie, and I know you're an avid fan of this racetrack. What seems to be the best strategy, especially with these stock cars?
I think tires are really, really important, especially in the Cup cars if we're going to get that long green flag run. I think you know, with this track, you really want to push up on those corners and put a lot of pressure on the right front, especially if you're on the inside or on the outside line with pressure from somebody else behind you. So I think tires are going to be really important. You see Aiden Kirker moving up into the 4th spot behind his teammate, Cole Williams, really clear him, at least out by the front straightaway.
They might have a look there. Aiden Kirker is going to follow through with his teammate. He's going to look to the inside of the 51. Finally, he was able to also get by Colton Zimmer in the process. And now the 2 EMR drivers are running 3rd and 4th behind the 2 Toyotas in McKinney and Parker Whiten. Another thing about EMR, also a relatively new team in any series on iRacing. They recently developed as a team. Of course, I know you're a part owner of that team, Charlie, along with Eli Commerford, and a lot of great drivers on that team. Cole Williams and Aiden Kirker were members of Going Low Racing before making the merge to EMETA Racing, so now they're part of there as well. And also doing a relatively great job of keeping themselves stable and performing, as a lot of drivers loose on that back straightaway. You can see from that camera shot, you saw a lot of drivers had to step out and really wheel their cars back straight, most notably Glenn Bundren and Michael Kenner, as there's another battle here in a huge group, starting with the 77 of Thomas Lloyd.
Yeah, that was an insane shot of all the cars getting loose off the corners. That's what I was kind of talking about, you know, trying to push your car up off the corner. And, you know, that's what happens when you may be on cold tires or really any tires. The back end will just start to step out, and you really have to wheel that car with the cost of damaging your tires even more. So back up front, or back there, you see Shane DiMantova trying to work his way back through the field, took his fast repair pretty early on, and doing a pretty good job so far. As you see how loose it is around here, and that's just kind of shows how flat this racetrack is and how these Cup cars will handle it.
Yeah, it's just a couple of degrees of banking in each corner here at Indianapolis, and then it just goes flat from there when you're going through the short chutes in the middle of the turns, and then of course going down the long straight on the front and the back straightaway. There's the 87, actually the 07 going to the inside of Shane DiMantova there. DiMantova's got a caution on the racetrack. One driver's involved, and it's Brady Weileman in the 51. And he's around on the racetrack. Caution is out for the 2nd time tonight.
Oh, and Brady was running a really good race so far, running in the top 5, and looks like he may have had contact with Colton Zimmer, as you see right there. We'll see in this replay, they kind of disconnected between those teammates. It's like looking 3 wide in the corner. That I'm not sure if that's going to work for them.
Oh, that's not really a good idea. And then lots of space, though, between the 09 to the 86, and then the 51 really had no choice to stay all the way up to the wall. And then really at that point was just looking. This is on board with the 51. This is coming to the outside, and he really has a line to pick here all the way to the top. And then at that point, he gets tagged by the 09 and then goes into the wall, tags both the 09 and the 86. And they both go around. Hard damage. Glenn Bundren sped through that one. And a 3-car incident here on lap number 15 will set things here early.
All right, well, that's going to give all these guys a reset, and that'll definitely help the 42 and the 39 to get a jump back up to try to contend for the race lead. But Parker White, I'm amazed by how much he put a gap on that 87 of Blaze McKinney. That was insane, especially with the draft around here. That'll help you a lot. So Parker's definitely been putting his practice laps in, and he is showing out so far tonight.
And this will be the first time we see pit road be a factor here, as everyone behind the race leader will go down pit road. Actually, it looks like one driver will stay out. That's Justin Johnson. But nonetheless, everyone other than him will go down pit road, and we'll see how this develops. It's going to be very interesting to see how this works in the very, very long pit road that we'll see. Parker White will be one of the first to come in. McKinney also tried to make something happen there. He tried to get to the side of the 95 to probably get that advantage down pit road, but nonetheless, the zoo is full. All the animals are eating now.
And Blaze McKinney hits the pit wall. Lots of trouble for these guys backing up. And a lot of, oh my goodness.
The 09 also is having trouble. He really cannot get himself back to his pit stall. You see him now, going to probably hit reverse. There he goes. Glenn Bungeon also had trouble. But meanwhile, the battle off pit road will be Parker White and the 77 of Thomas Lloyd. What a quick stop there. Cole Williams will come out to third. Aiden Kirker fourth. Quentin Warman fifth. JJ Hill also picked up a lot from that. Being involved in the first incident. Got his fast repair. Went down pit road. And was able to get the maximum amount of positions there. McKinney, though, will fall to eighth in that whole ordeal.
All right, well, that shook up a lot of stuff right there. Blaze McKinney lost a lot of spots, more than he needed on that pit stop.
So caution's out once again. They'll pick up the pace car there in the back straightaway in the entrance of turn 3 on lap number 17. Almost getting the halfway portion of this race, just about 3 laps shy. Just a quick reminder that LWRC coverage on the KBRN Racing Network is brought to you by Apella Gaming. Apella Gaming is an e-commerce retailer of quality gaming accessories for Microsoft Xbox, Sony PlayStation, and a variety of Nintendo consoles. You can check out all of their gear on their website, which goes up on October 1st, 2020 at apellagaming.com. And see how this continues to develop as Parker White will continue to lead this race. However, though, Charlie, I don't think we mentioned it as the yellow came out, but he had just about a 3-point-something second, almost just about 3 seconds above the rest of this field. And now, as the caution comes out, he's got a lot more to fight with because now everyone's now behind him and the field is re-racked.
All right, well, we're almost at the halfway mark of this run so far. And now we're just about to take the green flag with about 21 laps to go. And just by looking at this is a completely different strategy here by some of these guys. Looks like the 77 might have taken 2 tires. You can confirm or deny that, Kenneth, on that pit stop there. But he's currently sitting on the front row. And yeah, wow, that's really going to shake it up.
Parker White, also interesting that he chose the outside line for this restart as opposed to choosing that inside groove. Not sure whether he did take 4 tires, but he did have a 14.6 pit stop. So I believe, I'm actually not sure whether he did take 4 or 2 tires on that pit stop. I guess we'll just continue to watch that and see how that plays out, because if he did get those tires, that'll really affect the way the car will handle, and of course that'll be a real challenge to handle in front of the drivers who all have 4 fresh tires all around them on the racetrack. So we'll see how he handles that. A couple of questions before we go green. One more by LVB. She asks, can you please use the word poggers at least once during your broadcasts? Well,
oh god, maybe across the line for the winner, maybe, just maybe.
I guess you can get the interview in Victory Lane and say that was pretty poggers, I guess. All right, well, we're going to get the green flag here off turn 4. Pace car has got the 1 to green signal, and it will dip down to the safety of pit road, the long pit road in Indianapolis, and the long straight. But this time, the restart will belong to Parker White. You get on the gas pedal, and we are back under the green flag. Once again, 2 yellows down, 18 laps behind us.
Parker White still got a pretty good restart. Just 2 car lengths ahead of Cole Williams in second place. We'll see how this draft is going to work down this back straightaway, and Cole Williams could make a move for the race win, or for the race lead, sorry, as Aiden Kirker looks for 4th.
Oh, and you see Parker White doing something we have not done all race long. He's snake trailing down to the bottom of the racetrack to try and break the draft. Had to swerve up to the track to make the arc into turn number 3, trying to defend from Cole Williams in the 42. Has now been relatively close, and he might have a shot to take the race lead very soon if he has help.
Yeah, he just needs a good turn 4 and a good front straightaway on that trap. Parker White going all the way to the pit wall, snake trailing. But at the cost of snake trailing, you will slow your car down. So Cole Williams keeping that car straight, trying to optimize his speed. And to the outside he goes. Aiden Kirker to 3rd place.
Aiden Kirker to 3rd. EMR now 2nd and 3rd. Thomas Lloyd falls back to 4th on that strategy. Don't think he's lost too much, but maybe has to battle for that 4th spot with 5th place Blaze McKinney, as some drivers, I believe, have tapped that outside wall off of turn 2. There goes Parker White, still stake trailing, and I think everyone else is following him.
Yeah, that's very reminiscent of an Indy 500 race here. Those cars, especially in the closing laps when it's coming down to the wire there, these guys will be all over the place, just trying to break the track away from each other. And if you're in 2nd place and you're in a good spot, you want to defend that spot because, you know, it's a very fluent. This track is known for very fluent racing, I should say. It's really all single file throughout the corners, and you know, if you lose that spot, you'll just have to work even harder to get it back.
Yeah, it's a track that you really have to work for your money. Aiden Kirker, though, has smacked the outside wall on the short chute off of turn number 1. Not sure if there's enough damage on that car to affect his aerodynamics. I don't really see a crinkle there. Not the best view. Maybe down here we can see, yeah, there is some down to the left front now as he pancaked the side of that wall. He's probably going to slow down just a little bit due to that, and already he fell with that incident. He's not going to fall maybe to the clutches of the 87 in a couple of laps' time, as 87 now tags the wall.
Yeah, this track is very, very aerodynamically dependent. With these long straightaways and the amount of air that's flowing around you, just a little bit of damage will knock off a few miles per hour, and it can be pretty catastrophic by just a pancake to the wall. So we'll just have to see how Aiden Kirker will deal with this. He is slowing down quite a bit, backing up to that 87 car.
Got a question by Dash Juke in the YouTube stream, and he asked, what are your playoff predictions? Charlie, first I'll start with you.
Playoff prediction, I need to take a look at the points here, but I definitely think Blaze McKinney is locked in on a win here. So I think Blaze McKinney, maybe Parker White if he gets enough spots and a win here. He needs a win, and he could do that today. Actually, I think he got that at Chicagoland, Mark. Correct me if I'm wrong there. But I really think it's going to be between Blaze McKinney, Parker White, Aiden Kirker, and Cole Williams for that championship. Conveniently, the top 4 right now.
Yeah, right now, it's the EMR drivers in Kirker and Cole Williams. They have been dominant all season long. They have been leading those point standings, so I wouldn't count them out in this playoff picture whatsoever. They'll definitely be there, and they also have wins to their resume in this season, so they definitely have that to their advantage, and they're possibly locked in with that. Blaze McKinney with that win at Dover definitely helped him, and I'm sure that has locked him in within this top 10. I have not exactly looked at the specific points, I don't believe, after Chicagoland. Parker White, though, even though he has entered relatively late in the season, those wins and his finishes have helped him out a ton, and I don't really think he's been beaten yet. At least I don't think so just yet in terms of all the starts he's made. So Parker White will be in that picture. I'll see Cole Williams, Aiden Kirker. McKinney will be there as well. Michael Kenner, though, I feel Michael Kenner's making his absence. I feel like if he attends more races, he will definitely be in the playoff picture for sure, and we'll have that, and he'll definitely be there. I'm probably going to see, I think I might see Brady Weileman, of course, with that win. And now he's currently sitting 17th on the track due to that incident. He's currently sitting 1 lap down. But he had that win at Talladega that helped him out immensely. So that's going to also play to his benefit. And I think with some of the drivers that are attending now, some drivers who used to be in these races early in the season have now really been absent for a good chunk of them. And that's really hurt them in the points. So I think within this top 5, or at least the drivers we've been talking about, Charlie, I think it's going to be stable with those drivers there.
And another name that I had mentioned was Dylan Basin. I'm not sure if you mentioned him, but I think with his wins, or win or 2 in the season so far, I think he's really going to be another contender for it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Dylan Basin, he had 2 in a row at Texas and Bristol. And those wins, obviously, you must have locked him in. He attended last time in the season when we went to Chicagoland just a couple of days back, just about 2 days ago. And he finished 3rd there, so those points will also help him out. And he's not here tonight, but we'll just see how that develops with him, and hopefully he can continue to attend the rest of this season. We saw Aiden Kirker, I think, might have just smacked the wall again. But this time it was side-by-side with Michael Kenner in the 14. And those two everybody in the top 5 now are pretty much under a blanket until you get to Thomas Lloyd, just about 3 seconds back.
Yeah, Aiden Kirk, you can see how much he's struggling after that contact with the wall there. And yeah, he's fallen back out of the 3rd spot so far, so he kind of needs to catch a caution in order to stay in it. But without a caution, we just have 15 laps left to go in this. By the way, this race is going by very, very quickly. 40 laps seems like quite a bit for Indianapolis, but they still go by in a flash when these guys are going almost 180 miles an hour down the front straightaway. So, yeah, just Aiden really needs to hope for a caution, and so does Cole Williams to really contend for the race lead, unless Cole can just find something better in the corners, find a few tenths to gain on him. As Parker still snake trailing down the front straightaway. I mean, back straightaway.
Well, anyway, down to lap number 26. He mentioned how quick this race is going by, so I think it's a fitting time to go through this field, and we'll start, of course, with your race leader, Parker White in the 95. 2 wins to his resume this season, looking for a 3rd and go 2 in a row after winning at Chicagoland on Saturday night. He's looking for a win tonight to capture and continue his stride as he's snake trailing down the front and back straightaway. I think just trying to play around with the car as he's got that gap. But Parker White, stellar driver, has been so consistent. I think now in this series he's really shined through. Currently sitting 1st, and now with just 13 laps remaining, trying to bring it home.
Cole Williams, another 2 wins to his resume, driving for Ian Meteor Racing. Currently sitting in the 3rd spot. Currently sitting in the 2nd spot. Started 3rd, gained 1 position. Is currently holding his ground so far with an incoming Blaze McKinney. You've got a caution out of the racetrack.
Caution out. We'll see exactly who that might have been, and it involves the league owner himself, Jaden Lawson, in the 76, involved in this incident on lap number 27. So that'll re-rack the field, and I think now with that run underway, a lot of drivers' tires must have worn down. So we'll see how pit road will shake out with the main field here. We're going to take a replay, see exactly what happened with the 76. And this is up to turn 1. Was loose off of turn 1 to begin with, and then smacked the outside wall. Almost got into air and triple, and the 26 gets into there as well. That's Eli O'Quinn in that Ford Mustang, and then the 76 around there, and he's got heavy damage, bringing out the yellow.
All right, well, this is yet again another reset, and we're going to take the green flag with just about 10 laps to go in the race here. So after the pit stops, we're going to try and catch up with our in-race report at the 42 of Cole Williams to see how he's doing just after they come out of pit road. We'll see how this all shakes out. Once again, we saw the struggles last time they went down. We'll see if he repeats itself, and I would definitely expect a lot of shaking up in the top 5.
Oh, yeah, we saw Thomas Lloyd make that stop earlier in the race. And that really starts to beg the question, at least now as this race starts to wind down, and we'll probably take the restart with, I believe, 10 or less than 10 laps to go. Do you think we might see a split down pit road, or do you think it's just going to be the general consensus to go to get those 4 fresh tires and fuel to top yourself off?
Oh, I definitely think all these guys are going to go down, top off, get those 4 fresh tires. They're very, very valuable, especially in these cup cars, especially at this racetrack. So everyone's lined up. We'll see how, if anyone gets a jump on each other. Guys, some guys faking out, but I can tell you all these guys are probably going to come in.
And the answer will be yes to every driver to stay down and go down pit road with Parker White. So they'll all follow him down. And we'll see if there's any more mishaps or any drivers making something or having a trick up their sleeve to possibly try to gain a spot or 2 or even go for the race lead. We've seen it a couple times in this series. Saw it in the iRacing Bunch and Lawn Care series. Got a couple drivers in the wall. I believe that was Eli. 09 also there as well. He also had some trouble. I believe that was the 26 of Eli O'Quinn getting hit his stall. And no, I think it was another. It was actually the 14 getting into his stall. Look at the damage there on his race car. As they're going to come out of pit road, Parker White will be first, while Blaze McKinney will be second. Where is Cole Williams in this whole mess?
Yeah.
He's falling back all the way down to 8th.
I saw Cole Williams have to back up into his pit stall, and that is a costly mistake here late in the race. He's going to have a lot of positions to make up here. Not what he wanted there.
Oh, man, and that's going to move McKinney up to 2nd. Kirker up to 3rd, possibly got that damage fixed. I actually do not see any of the defenders bent back in, so he actually did not get that damage. Just went for 4 tires. It's probably not affecting him as much. So he will come out 3rd. Glenn Bundren, though, what a pit stop, will come out 4th on this restart. Will most likely start to the outside. We'll see what Parker White does on this lane strategy if he chooses that outside lane, because if you remember, on that last yellow, when we went back to the green flag, Parker chose the outside line as opposed to choosing the inside. So possibly another outside line choice, or I think now that he has Blaze McKinney in second, you think he might try to defend the bottom this time?
Oh yeah, definitely. These guys are going to be on top of each other because, you know, with this draft, and everyone realizes that Parker White has a bunch of speed here today, and they need to get that good start. They basically need to all jump on him in order to maybe take back the race lead. So I think Blaze McKinney and Aiden Kirker are both going to be on him.
So we'll see how this goes, and pace car just got the 1 green signal, and the lights are off. And just as I said that and asked that question, Parker White will choose the inside line and try to defend that. McKinney will be forced to choose the high side. Kirker will be in a row number 2 on the inside. Bundren will be 4th. And then Thomas Lloyd picks up to 5th. Aaron Tribble actually making his way back into the top 10 after his incident with Brady Weileman early in this race. Cole Williams will be 8th. D. Mantova into 7th. So lots of work to pick up in these final 10 laps for that Appella Gaming Chevrolet Camaro. Right in front of other Appella Gaming, Toyota Camry, and Kelan Belsha right behind the 2 teammates.
And Keelan's really hoping for a good rebound here. Got into trouble pretty early on with that 8 car JJ Hill. So lots of stuff to make up for both of those guys to try to score a top 5 finish. But yeah, we're going to take the green flag with exactly 10 laps to go here. So a 10-lap dash for the finish for the 95, the 87, and the 39 to all sort it out. And for personally, I'm going to have a lot of fun watching that 42 car slice and dice through the field and just try to make up everything that he's lost.
Yeah, that 42 is going to have a lot to work around, but I think the fortunate thing for him is he's still got 10 laps. This track is large. It's about 2.5 miles, so he has time to pick up positions. The question is, does he have enough time to get up to the top 3? Because we've seen Parker White grow his lead to just about a second or more. We've seen a lot of drivers in the top 3 or 5 get fairly separated, so how much time does Cole Williams really have? It's kind of dependent on what's going to happen up front. We're going to see what happens up front as the pace car will go down to pit road. We'll pick up 10 laps to go on this restart. Parker White and Blaze McKinney will lead them down, and we are back under the green flag here at Indianapolis. Whoa, blocking all the way down to the wall.
Yeah, and Blaze McKinney just tried to take that second spot away from that 39 car. Almost ran him into the wall there. See if he'll take over that second spot. Here comes Glenn Blunder in that 37 car. Into the 4th position looking for more. We'll see Cole Williams' progress on that restart. I'm not sure if he'll have enough time.
Oh, but D. Mantova is loose. That's going to help the 42 out. He's going to clear him down as they're snake trailing down the back straightaway. Now it's the entire field followed with Parker White. McKinney will look to the outside, but it will not be enough. Going to hit the reset button, and it's top 4 pretty much under a blanket as they fight for 5th.
Cole Williams trying to snag that top 5 position. 86 get loose. Here it comes to the inside. Cole Williams punching his ticket into the top 5. That 77 looking to the outside. Rewind down the front straightaway. Cole Williams in the middle. And we'll see how this all sorts out into turn number 1. And Cole will take that spot.
Remarkable pass by that 42 to make it 3 wide, and remarkable for all of them to keep it clean. Shane Mantova comes back into this group, going to try to get back into this top 5, but look at the gap between that 42 of Williams and the Glenn Punchers. Got a huge crash. James Hill involved, the 09 involved. Large collection here on lap 32, but no yellow. Now there's a yellow on the racetrack. I was going to say.
Wow, that is the big one here in Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Lots of cars involved, lots of big hits. But this is what Cole Williams needed. He's in the top 5 right now. He'll start on the inside. And we're just going to have to see how this all is going to shake out.
We'll take a replay. This is off of turn 2. And I saw one driver, I think, get loose into the wall. Might have started ahead of these drivers here with D. Mantova. This is Thomas Lloyd there. Thomas Lloyd actually got into the wall, into Shane. And then the rest of the drivers start collecting. Huge hit to the inside wall for the 09. JJ Hill also involved once again for the 2nd time in a yellow tonight. Brady Weileman was able to get by, though. Shane D. Mantova, though. And a lot of drivers with hard contact. Wow.
sure some of these guys aren't happy. A lot of them were having pretty consistent runs here.
And that all started with Thomas Lloyd fighting with Aaron Tribble. And if you're that 42 Williams, you must be in a sigh of relief because you were just passing those drivers as soon as that happened. And then they get into a wreck. Any closer to those drivers and you could have been involved there as well.
All right, well, the pit road is open this time. We're going to see if there are any takers. I would definitely expect those guys who were just involved in that wreck to come down and get their fast car if they still have it. I'm not sure if JJ or Shane still have theirs left, but they are collected in prior incidents. But we've only had a few laps on their fresh tires, so I would not expect some of the leaders to drop down. But if that happened, that would be a strategy. You see a lot of guys faking out, yeah. So that strategy is to stay out.
Yeah, best bet is to keep that track position because I believe this next restart might be the one all the way to the end of this race. McKinney will also have another shot, and I'd say on that last restart, Parker White did not get so much of a great jump to the point where he could really gap the rest of this field like he did early in this race. McKinney was there, Kirker was there, everyone was within striking distance, so Parker White does have a challenge on his hands if he wants to beat all these guys behind him because they are coming with a vengeance. And especially on those fresh tires with the high downforce package, you really get that draft off the corners and the cars are all close together in pack racing style. So we'll see how this works, but Cole Williams probably the best gainer off of this. He will start 5th. And the best thing for that 42 now, it's not that he's starting 5th, is that he's starting on the inside. So he'll be on the inside of Glenn Bundren. He could also follow through with his teammate in the 39. Maybe McKinney does not get the best restart, and that could allow Cole to continue to pounce through this field and try to get back up to where he was before that pit stop.
And while he's on his kind of train ride to the front here, we're going to go ahead and drag him in and see how he's doing, see what his strategy is. So we're bringing him in the booth. Cole, you got a copy with us?
Yes, sir.
All right, well, Cole, you are on your journey to the front after a pit stop that kind of push the reset when it puts you all the way back there. So you're up to 5th now. We're probably going to restart with 5 laps to go. So ultimately, what's the strategy here as this race starts to close out?
Just full send. I'm going to be pushing Aiden Kirk. I see the Appella Gaming car up here. I think this racing is a joke, how we saw in the restart, how cars literally simultaneously swerving across the racetrack as a strategy to break the draft. That's absolutely ridiculous, but nonetheless, that's what we have to live through today. So, you know, that's basically just breaking the draft from Parker's been doing that all race. So make sure he can't do that because that's how he drove to a 3-second lead. Yeah, I don't have an H pattern shifter, so I couldn't get it to reverse in time, and I just barely went forward in my box, and it cost me about 5 positions, but thankfully I was able to have a solid restart. So yeah, I don't really know what happened in my mirror, but I saw cars going fine, and then people complaining on the radio about how the cautions being thrown are inconsistent. So just see how this goes. Is Parker not the leader? I think he must have chose the outside there or something, because I see Parker on the outside. But this should be fun. I have Kelan behind me and Aiden in front of me. So the Appella Gaming Armada hopefully will snag at least a top 5 right here.
All right, well, we'll see you out there on the racetrack, and that kind of shows you the difference in experience for us up into the booth and on the racetrack there. As you see, up in the booth, it was exciting to watch. We're seeing all this good racing here, but on the racetrack, it's a different story. It could be frustrating for some of these guys that really have been going the way and calling people out. So, yeah, it's definitely a kind of a two-sided kind of relationship between when you're watching a race and when you're actually in it. Yeah, I think Blaze McKinney might have missed a shift there, and he lost a ton of track position. Here comes Glenn Gundren to the inside. Further stuff we've seen him all night. Aiden Kirker slid himself in to the third spot. Blaze McKinney almost takes him out, trying to slot himself in line. And Cole Williams is going to take that fourth spot down the back straightaway. The draft is really going to help these guys.
There's Cole Williams trying to get up through this field once again. You saw him on the inside with Michael Kenner trying to work to the outside. He gets cleared, but meanwhile, Parker White up to the front of this field. Bundren behind. He has help from Aiden Kirker. Now they're starting to catch the race leader slowly.
Cole Williams looking to the inside of Michael Kenner, not getting that spot, not what he wants on this restart. He's currently outside, just one spot outside the top 5. Meanwhile, up front, Glenn Budgeon made up a lot of time, loosed off of the corner, almost contact with that 39 car, and he's going to look to the inside to try to take that second spot, and he could be able to contend for the race lead and when they wrap around with 3 laps to go. But before that, he's going to have to clear him first in order to try to catch the draft up. Also, here comes Blaze McKinney coming with him.
Blaze McKinney looking to the inside of his fellow friend, Glenn Bundren. We'll see how that checks out between the Toyota Camrys. Aiden Kirker, though, moves to second, and now it's just a couple of car lengths before he gets up to the 95 of Parker White. He's going to have a lot of work to do with just 3 laps remaining. Parker White looking for his 3rd win in the series into turn number 1.
3 laps to go here in Indianapolis, but that's still quite a while around this racetrack to decide a winner of this one. So here comes Michael Kenner looking to the inside of Blaze McKinney. Blaze is going to shut him off. Around he goes in turn number 3. Big wreck here.
Huge crash. Will that trigger the yellow one? Yes, it does. Around the 87 goes, and a yellow is out on with just 3 laps to go, and that'll come to the green-white checkers on this restart. Oh man, that 87 was fighting hard to get all the positions he could, and it does not end up great for him. We'll take a replay, see exactly how this started. This is a battle between Glenn Bundren himself and Michael Kenner in the 14. Michael Kenner got around the 42 of Williams, was catching back up to this top 5. Coming into turn number 2, the contact begins there. And around the 87 goes, and everyone starts piling in. And damage, I believe, to a lot of those race cars. And then you see everybody just trying to get by. Tribble just swerving the steering wheel. And he's able to save it, though. And the caution comes out from there on out.
And I think Cole Williams escaped that with little to no damage there. As we'll see, we'll get a feel on him here. I don't think he got any contact in that one.
We'll take a better look. This is a couple of seconds back, going into turn 2. On board with the 42 of Williams. There's the contact. Wow.
And this is valuable positions for that 46 car. He needed that. So now Eel Media Racing is going to be 2nd and 3rd, maybe 2nd and 4th with Michael Kenner's in the way. But wow. Oh, we see intentional wrecking back there maybe.
Well, I think might have been, actually, yes, that's Thomas Lloyd and Jaden Lawson involved in this. Probably some retaliation along the way. We'll take another look. Oh, just gets into him.
This race went from calm to 0 to 100 really quickly in this last 10 laps.
So this is the look down pit road, and the question is, will everybody go down? Parker White will try to lead them. Kirker, though, stays out with his teammate. Cole Williams and Aiden Kirker will stay out. Kelan Belsha will also stay out. Glenn Bundren will also stay out. So 4 drivers staying out on the racetrack. Actually 5, counting Shane DiMantova here, as Parker White will follow down pit road.
Wow, I was not expecting that. I was not expecting Parker White to pit from the lead here to see a bunch of cars staying out. That's just a lot more on his plate here on this restart. As he goes down, he'll probably get 4 fresh tires, and he's going to be a charging car up through the front here. But that's a Eel Media Racing 1-2-3 with Glenn Bundren currently sitting 4th. So wow, I have no words about that one.
And you got to think what came into his mind to go down pit road, especially with 3 laps to go. He's been so successful on every restart. Everybody was on the same playing field as him, apart from now McKinney and the 14 Michael Kenner, or a couple of the drivers who were involved in that incident because they were damaged and they were involved in incidents. Obviously, McKinney was going to go down pit road regardless due to that damage. He wasn't going to continue on with that. But I'm just surprised Parker White, with the success he's had up front, to go down pit road now and get those fresh tires. And now he's got a lot of cars to carve through. That could have really sold his race from there. We got a question, though, by Francisco, and that really pertains to the conversation we're having right now. That's happening right now. He asks, for Kenneth and Charlie each, will tires prevail or will track position win this race? In all honesty, I believe track position is going to triumph because you see how many cars are there down at Parker White. He's going to start in 8th. We saw Cole Williams pick up a couple spots after that pit stop, but it was not enough. It was just a couple positions, and by the time 3 laps went by, it came and went, and he was just up by at least 3 positions, maybe 4. But I think track position will definitely triumph with the amount of cars here. Charlie, what are your thoughts?
I think track position is definitely important, but we're going to kind of see a battle between track position and fresh tires here, as Parker White will from 8 spots back, we're going to try to see him try to carve through this field with those fresh tires. But that top 3 is all green and black right now, as the top 3 are taken by those 3 teammates. So, yeah, he just has 2 laps to do it. That's 8 corners and 8 long straightaways for him to try and catch up and take back the race lead. But I'm kind of skeptical going into this one. I really have no predictions.
So we'll see how this goes. Currently, some drivers put a lap down. Blaze McKinney is 1 lap down after that incident. He's currently still on pit road. Don't think he's getting out anytime soon. Colton Zimmer is out of pit road, but he is 6 laps down, sitting 17th. Justin Johnson is a final driver. Not sure where he really went. He's currently sitting 18th. Final driver on the grid. Currently disconnected from the session, so he's out of this one for good. So the 3 Apollo Gaming cars going to be 1, 2, 3, and all of them from EO Media Racing. Then they'll have a little bit of some friendship there between this top 5, because they'll have Glenn Budgeon to the outside of row 2, Shane DiMantova to the inside of row 3, and although those 2 drivers, Budgeon and DiMantova, are on different teams, all of them are friends with each other, so we'll see how this plays out. Maybe some friendly rivalry is going to be happening, at least on this restart. And Parker White will have to fight all the way back from 8th on the outside now to try and capture a win or try to get back up to the front of this field where he started this race. So off turn 4, pace car will come down for possibly the final time tonight. As he goes down, we'll take a green-white checker. 2 laps to go at the line. Aiden Kirker and Cole Williams will lead them down, and we are back under the green flag here at Indy. Will this be the final one?
See if it is the final one. Aiden Kirker out front. Cole Williams slots himself in 2nd. Parker White kind of boxed in on the outside. Can't really get to the bottom here. And he is boxed in behind that, I believe, Nova Sim Racing car. Here comes Cole Williams for the race lead, looking for his 3rd win of the year. So is Aiden Kirker. And Kelan Belsha loose on the corner.
Kelan Belsha is going to save it off too, and they're clean. 1 driver actually down at the inside wall. It's the 76 of Lawson, but no yellow. Parker White is looking almost to the grass into turn 3. He is trying to gain as much positions as he can with the allotted time left, but they are still 1-2. EO Media Racing. Kelan Belsha's into the outside wall. Maybe see if the caution will come out this time, and I don't think it will. They're coming to the white flag, and a yellow is out. We'll take another attempt.
Almost got the white flag there, and Parker White made up just a couple spots there. He really couldn't make up that time. I think if it stayed green, I think the top 2 would have locked up this one, but Parker White still has a lot of work to do as Kelan Belsha around in turn 4.
This is a really big development here. Take a look here. Parker White looking to the inside. This is into turn number 3, and just drivers stacking up at this point. They were almost 4 wide, I'd say. And then Belsha to the outside, got hooked by the 20 of DiMantova. And then that's when really everything started. We'll look here on the rear cam. This is going into turn 3. There's Shane DiMantova. You see him get the run down the outside. Here's that run as he checks up just a little bit. And then there comes the contact. Did he get in contact with Parker White? I'm not sure whether he did.
I think he got into him, but I don't think he sustained any damage at all. kind of sideswiped him. Yeah, that's... Well, I guess that's iRacing physics for you.
That was definitely odd, but Parker White will be
That
into
could have
sixth.
easily taken out Parker White, but you got away with that one right there.
Oh yeah, for sure. Parker White, look at no damage apart from that little crinkle on the right front there on that race car. He could have gotten way worse with that contact with Kelan Belsha. Just a connection thing really did not allow Parker to sustain really any damage from that wreck at all. So he will be in this top 6. However, he will be behind D Mantova here, which is interesting, as D Mantova was the one who hooked Kelan Belsha into turn 3 into the short chute there, coming into turn 4. So they'll be 5th and 6th, respectively. Kirker and Cole Williams, though, at the front of this field. And now with this caution out, Charlie, and this attempt going to start once again on another attempt, do you think Parker White now has enough time? Do you think those fresh tires are still there? Or do you think he might have burned his stuff up trying to get through everyone else to go up to where he is now?
Oh, wow. I can't really find an answer to that question. You know, we'll see. He was really aggressive on that restart, but I don't know. The only prediction that I can make of this is going to be a shootout. I think Parker White might be able to get there on the final lap, but it all depends on getting through all these cars smoothly. And it could take Cole Williams and Aiden Kirker a costly mistake in order for him to get back up there. But wow, I really have no predictions for this one.
We'll see. Got a question by Jesse Martinez. He asks, Parker White has not been in dirty air all race, and that's a great point that he made in the chat, that he has really not faced any dirty air being behind any car, and through this entire race he's always been up front. So he asks, can he handle it with it not being there all race, so there not being a factor that he's behind any cars? And he also asks if the teammates up front, and Aiden Kirker and Cole Williams, if they'll keep it clean for the win.
Well, I think that when you're racing for the lead and for a win with your team, I think that there's a lot more respect that goes into it when you're racing with other competitors. So, you know, despite being teammates, I wouldn't be surprised if these guys just go all at it. It's kind of like a boys have at it moment between these guys. It's just a shootout here. I think they will race each other respectfully, but if Parker White's far behind and it's just them out front, I think that they'll try and duke it out for the win.
So they'll go side by side, double up. This will possibly be the one to green signal here. And it will. Pace car lights are off, so we'll take the green flag as we go one more time around. But before we do that, I'm going to get our race summary presented by Supermix. Of course, our leader right now, you see him on screen, the 39 of Aiden Kirker right beside his teammate Cole Williams. We've completed 44 laps, 3 laps remaining in this race. The race will probably continue to extend if we get another yellow and we go through another green-white checkered attempt. We've had 4 lead changes all night long. We've had 6 cautions for 11 laps. That is your race summary presented by Supermix. Still the 2 teammates up at the front of this field. A little bit of a different situation in row 2, however. We had Kelan Belsha there, and of course with this wreck, he falls all the way back through this field, which will enable Glenn Buncher to take the inside line. Eli O'Quinn will occupy 4th on the top side of row number 2. D Mantova will start where he did on that last restart on the inside of row 3. Parker White is just a little bit closer, but another issue that he has to face, he's going to be the outside rather than the inside. We'll see how that develops as it goes down, but this is probably going to be intense, and if we get another attempt, I'm not sure really what's going to happen here, and everyone's going to be on equal footing. Pace car in 2, 3, and 4. Going to take the short chute as they go very slow behind that pace car. Probably eager to get the green flag. And, of course, I know that 39 and the 42 were probably frustrated as they saw the yellow flag wave just as they were about to cross the yard of bricks and take the white flag. But we'll see if they're successful this time around. Coming off turn 4, pace car will possibly go on the pit road for the final time tonight. We'll just have to see. Going to take the green flag down the front straightaway. Cole Williams, Aiden Kirker, going to round out this first row, and we're back green at Indy.
And they timed that restart perfectly. They're sliding themselves 1-2 right now. And Parker White down to the inside before the 4th spot. He might have enough time this time trying to get by Glenn Brundren. And the gap is growing between 3rd and 4th. Parker White to the inside. Down the front shoulder, he's going to get a huge run on these guys.
That yellow really helped him out, and now with that restart, it's helped him out even better. Gonna go up to third as they're fighting almost 3 wide between Brady Weileman and one of the Nova Sim Racing cars. They're 3 wide with Shane DiMantova and Eli O'Quinn down the middle. We'll see if they keep that clean. I think they might, and they do, as now Parker White's gonna look to the inside of that number of the 42.
Will he get the spot, though? They're going to be side drafting down the front straightaway. Aiden Kirker's going to have one more lap to hold him off. To the inside for the second spot goes the 95 of Parker White. 1 lap to go here at Indianapolis. Can Aiden hold him off? But a hard-charging Parker White is coming up on him.
Parker White on the fresh rubber might use every advantage he can get going down to the short chute out of turn 2 and especially to the back straightaway. If a yellow comes out, the race will be finalized and the field will be frozen. The race all the way back to the start-finish line. Cole Williams trying to defend for third, but you're looking at the top 2 battling into turn 3. Here comes Parker White at the inside. Does he have enough space? He does not. He has to check up. Aiden Kirker's going to have that space. He's going to get into contact, and the 95 is around in turn 3 and 4. Off of turn number 4 for the final time. Down to the yard of bricks. Does Aiden Kirker have damage? And does Cole Williams have enough? Brady Weileman's into the wall hard. But it's going to be Aiden Kirker. Another win in the LWRC NASCAR Cup Series comes here at Indianapolis in a wild final 2 laps.
A chaotic final lap, something that we haven't seen in this series yet. And it all came down to the final corner as Aiden Kirker made a huge block on Parker White, got him all the way to the grass, and was able to pull away and take his his second oval win and his 3rd win of the LWRC Cup Series. And I have no words about that one. I can't even get my words straight. That was an insane finish.
EMR goes 1-2 with Kirker and Cole Williams, and it might have looked bleak for Williams in those final laps as he was falling spots, and he comes all the way back to 2nd. Unbelievable finish. This deserves a replay for sure between all of the leaders here. Oh, actually, hold on. We'll take a look. This is coming to the start-finish line here. And we'll just look a little bit further. This is Cole celebrating this win. Here it is. Final look into this sector here. There's Kirker. You see everyone practically battling for the race lead or for position here. Parker White's going to look to the inside. He has no space to the bottom, and he could have tagged him there, but he chose not to. He gets on the brakes. Then Cole Williams comes smashing in. Well, he did say he was going to send it in that interview before that green-white checker. Then a lot of drivers get collected. And look who comes to finish 3rd. Michael Kenner. Battle with Brady Weileman is going to send him in the inside wall, and Brady just goes soaring to the outside wall there.
Yeah,
Wow.
I'm not sure that move is really justifiable with that 39 car, but you know, it all comes down to the final corner. He didn't necessarily make contact. I do think Parker White really took kind of an overreaction, almost getting into the grass there. You see, he didn't necessarily try to dive bomb block him, as he made no contact. It was more of like a juke out. I don't know if we can get a better replay of that.
Here will be a better look. This is coming into turn 3. Parker White makes that move to the inside. Kirker blocks very late, and then the 95 has no choice but to back it up. And then here comes the charging rest of the guys in 3rd, 4th, and 5th. They get into contact. DiMantova goes around as well. And then he gets tagged.
There was definitely still room for that 95 car to come up, but that really was still last lap racing there, and Parker White still tried to take a block on that 42 car as well, and got tagged himself. There's contact off the corner. What a chaotic final lap. Final last 10 laps as the 51 goes soaring.
That was a look at the final lap there, and here are the 2 EMR teammates. Aiden Kirker and Cole Williams going to celebrate together, doing the duel side by side, at least, taking the lap around the racetrack backwards in a salute to all the virtual fans that came out to watch this and the madness here at the Brickyard. What a finish to that race there. I'm going to take a look at our results and see exactly where everyone finished, starting with the EMR teammates in Aiden Kirker and Cole Williams. Going to finish 1-2. Kirker takes his 3rd win of the season, his 2nd oval win after he won his first oval race at Dover. His first win in this season came at Sonoma Raceway. Cole Williams comes just short Another 1-2 finish for them, and they have been phenomenal all season long. They did this when Aiden Kirker got his last oval win at Dover. It was a 1-2 exactly in this format. Michael Kenner comes home third. Eli O'Quinn will rally back to fourth. 2 Nova Sim Racing drivers, third and fourth. Thomas Lloyd comes to the top 5. Tribble will fall to 6th. Quentin Warman will finish 7th. Glenn Bungeon, after being in those restarts, at least there in the final restarts, he finishes 8th. Jaden Lawson, league owner, comes back from huge damage to finish 9th. JJ Hill remarkably comes home with the top 10.
Just outside the top 10, Ronald Holmes at 33 card finishes just outside in 11th. Parker White, who seemingly had it locked up in the back pit early and made a last-ditch effort in the final corner, kind of got cleaned out there. Finishes 12th. Shane DiMantillo 13th. Brady Wheelerman 1 lap down. 14th. Kelan Belsha 15th. Colton Zimmer 16th. Blaze McKinney 17th. And Justin Johnson, I don't think he even started the race. He finishes 18th.
So there is everyone celebrating. Kirker is out, and we'll take a moment to step away and take a breather here after these last couple of laps here in these final events. Of course, you are watching the LWRC NASCAR Cup Series live from the Brickyard in the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. We'll take a short break. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway and coverage of the LWRC NASCAR Cup Series as we kick off our KBRN post-race coverage presented by SDC. Well, what a race we had here at the Brickyard, and what a finish between those final laps, and especially that final sector all the way to the end. And with that, we're going to bring our driver from victory lane. That 39 of Aiden Kirker, going to bring him in. Probably very happy after the result tonight. First of all, Aiden, welcome to the KBRN booth. You got a copy with us?
Yeah, I got you.
All right, Aiden, your third win of the season comes here at none other than the Brickyard, and you get to taste the bricks tonight. You get to kiss the bricks. just tell us your emotions and your thoughts going behind the wheel on those final restarts with Parker White on your tail and pretty much all that happening and everyone fighting for position behind you.
Yeah, that was stressful. That was definitely one we had to fight for. Parker, he had some fresh good years, but going into turn 3 on the white flag, I did block him down to the grass a little bit. I did look at the replay. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was at first. It is just racing going for the win. Little over aggressive by me, but still just really trying my hardest to get the win. Just so much adversity that, you know, EMR as a whole had to go through. Cole had some issues on pit road. JJ had a wreck. Kelan had a wreck. I got the pole, but then I went to check my steering ratio and I ended up missing the start. But clearly that didn't matter because we walk out of Indy with the checkered flag.
Well, certainly a phenomenal effort by you. And of course, with your EMR team, you're at one point 1-2-3 with you, Cole Williams to second, Kelan Belsha to third. And you finish this race in a miraculous way because not only do you go 1-2 with Cole Williams here tonight, your last oval win was also a 1-2 effort between you and Cole Williams. First of all, just tell us how that feels and how much of a boost this is for your team at EMR and all the drivers there are part of it.
Oh, it feels great. I mean, EMR, the chemistry between all of us, all the drivers, you know, it's amazing. I feel like we can all work together really well, and it's pretty familiar sight when I see the checkered flag on my windshield and I see my teammate right behind me because we've gone 1-2 several times this year, and it's just it just makes us better. I mean, it just shows that we can really work together really well and finish up front together.
And that's a really great point that you make because now we're in the second half of the season, but not only that, we are just 2 races away from the start of the playoffs. Come to Darlington at race number 20. Is there some sort of strategy that you have here or some sort of game plan that you have with your team going into these final 2 races, knowing that you have those wins to your belt and you're locked in and going to try everything to do to get a championship?
No new strategy. It's going to stay the same it has all year. It's worked out pretty good for us, so probably going to stick with that.
All right, Aiden. Well, before we let you go to celebrate here at the famous Brickyard, you got anybody you'd like to thank for making tonight's effort possible?
Of course, I want to thank my team, EMR, Media Racing. Just really excited to get the win for them, and especially after Appella Gaming has come on board with us. This is our first race with them on the hood of the 39 car, and to get a checkered flag with them, it's pretty awesome.
All right, Aiden. Well, congratulations on your 3rd win this season. Of course, thank you for taking the time to talk with us. We hope to see you there at Kentucky next week. I know that's going to be a good one, and we wish you luck coming to the rest of these the regular season onto the playoffs.
Thank you, guys. Have a good one.
Aiden Kirker comes home in a victory lane here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Looking back to second, where the EMR will go 1-2, so Cole Williams and fellow EMR driver will finish second. Charlie is trackside with Cole Williams.
All right, Cole, this is Charlie in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
All right, well, facing struggles about halfway through the race, got that pit stop you did not need, and managed to rebound quite a bit to a 2nd place spot. But just on that green light checkered and throughout the last half of the race, just talk to me how that all played out for you.
Yeah, I was just trying to recover the best I could. Just unfortunate, you know, I barely missed my stall, and then the car stalled when I tried to get to neutral, or I tried to get to reverse. So unfortunately, I don't have an H pattern that would have fixed all my problems. But nonetheless, just making my way through the garbage that was happening in the last couple laps. It was just insanity. Like I said in my interview, the racing is just insane, you know, swerving all the straightaways and pushing each other and all that, but it felt like a plate race down the straightaways, except it wasn't as packed up. But yeah, I saw maybe a glimpse of light for the win when I thought maybe it was going to be a Phoenix or Auto Club situation where the leaders were going to get into it going into one of the final corners, and then I was just going to come out on top. But unfortunately, Parker just tried to block when I was going 15 miles per hour faster and kind of just turned himself. And then Shane got ran over by the 14. So I feel bad for him. He had a good run going today as well, but it definitely played out the way it definitely helped me that, you know, just the way the last lap happened. I thought if I didn't have any contact on that last lap, there might have been a small chance I could have gotten into the line. But no matter what, we have a Pella Gaming 1-2 with the paint schemes. Unfortunately, Kelan couldn't finish the job off, but it was just wild. I was just trying to, make my way back up. I was worried my race was over when I felt like maybe I was going to restart like 7th, and I thought I was going to be in the insanity when I messed up on pit road. But nonetheless, P2, not upset at all.
All right, well, Cole, thank you for coming on here and racing with us, and thank you for taking the time to talk with us. Good race for you. I'm sure you and Aiden are really happy with the 1-2 finish for your team. So with that being said, we'll see you next week. And before we let you go, do you have any teams or anyone that you'd like to thank for making this effort happen?
Yeah, just shout out to Eel Meter Racing once again for just being the GOAT team. Shout out to Aiden for the dub. I feel like if I didn't have the pit road mishap, would have been from. But I can't even be mad. That was awesome for him to get a dub. Finally defeating Parker White and all the big boys. And then shout out to Pella Gaming, our sponsor, of course. Their website launches on October 1st. If you're looking for any game controllers for Nintendo, Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, all that jazz, make sure to check them out. Their website launches on October 1st. And obviously they were on our cars. I know they were in the YouTube chat earlier like usual, so shout out to them. And just shout out to you guys for making this broadcast happen and for being good owners.
All right, well, Kobe, we appreciate the nice comments and congratulations to you on a second place finish tonight. We will see you next week at Kentucky. Best of luck to you, man.
Thank you.
Second place finish for Cole Williams. We're going to go ahead and bring Michael Kenner in here for the third place interview, and that'll round out our interviews for tonight at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. So, Kenneth, you got this one.
And first of all, Michael Kenner, welcome to the KBRN booth. You got a copy with us?
10-4.
All right, Michael. Well, it's been a really different season for you. You showed up a couple times. You picked up a win in Vegas. You come back after a little absence in this series. And just tell us your initial thoughts going into this race and how that really played out to your expectations at the checkered flag tonight.
Well, I wanted to go for the win. That's exactly what I did. I made a bunch of mistakes all race. Kept getting myself knocked out of the top 5 where I should have been all race, I think. Definitely don't think I was the 3rd fastest car, but I ended up in 3rd. I want to just go out there, race everyone hard, and go get a win.
Well, it's definitely very tough for you at this front of the field because so much was going on, so many drivers getting into contact. What was the view and the perspective behind the wheel of your 14 Ford Mustang as you were going into 3 and 4 with all the calamity happening in front of you, Parker White getting turned, and everyone else getting involved in huge wrecks?
Well, it was the final lap. I saw a little hole. I tried taking it. Shane's not very happy about me turning him, but there wasn't enough hole, and that was quite obvious, but I didn't. He's saying I was keeping it on the gas, but I was on the brakes. Tried not hitting him. I didn't want to wreck him for it. That's never going to be my intention and never will, but ended up happening that way. Didn't want it to happen like that, though. Want to race him clean for the 3rd place spot.
Well, Michael, nonetheless, a podium finish for you here in 3rd here in Indianapolis. I know that Kentucky and Daytona coming to the next 2 races. I know that's probably going to be in perspective for you, considering that you have a win this season and most likely you will be part of the playoffs in the LWRC NASCAR Cup Series. But before we let you go, Michael, you have any teams or anybody you'd just like to shout out for making tonight's effort possible?
Gotta thank Nova Sim Racing and Josh Patterson for assigning me to this team and helping me have a few teammates to go race and make me better.
All right, Michael. Well, congratulations on your P3 finish. We hope to see you at Kentucky next week and, of course, Daytona, a final regular season race, and, of course, through the playoffs, and we wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
Michael Kenner out of the booth. He comes home in the final podium spot in 3rd. Well, we conclude our interviews for tonight's coverage here at Indianapolis, and before we let everything go and wrap the whole broadcast up, Charlie, our takeaways from this race. So what are your takeaways and what are your thoughts coming out of Indianapolis, going into Kentucky next week, then moving on to Daytona, and then we'll start the playoffs where things start to get more tense?
Well, I think as the regular season kind of starts to come to a close, I think we're really starting to see the aggressiveness of these drivers. We saw it last week at Chicagoland. All these guys jostling for position, Parker White, Cole Williams, Aiden Kirker, basically all those guys racing for the win, and eventually they're going to butt heads and make contact with each other, and tempers are going to fly. That's just the way it is. And, these guys had a really great race run going. but the caution seemingly just didn't end coming to the end there. But I thought it was a great race overall. The racing was really good tonight. Again, this is one of my favorite racetracks to watch. And for the race lead, and that mid-pack race between these guys was a lot of fun. I really had a lot of fun watching this one and that crazy finish. So congratulations to Aiden Kirker, and I can't wait to go to Kentucky next week. That's another really good track for these cup cars.
And of course, you mentioned Kentucky, and that'll be where we'll be next on the KBRN Racing Network. Next week around, we'll take a look at Kentucky Speedway, and we'll head there in the penultimate race before we start the playoffs. That'll be Monday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, taking over the spot that the iRacing Bunch and Lawn Care Series had before, but now that that series is over, or at least the season is concluded for their side of things on the LWRC NASCAR Cup Series, we'll be here next Monday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. And also on Sunday will be the TRL E-Racing Truck Series, though they'll be there next week from the Iowa Speedway. And that'll be more coverage here on the KBRN Racing Network. But on behalf of us here, all of us here, what a night at Indianapolis. Congratulations to Aiden Kirker on his third win of the season, his second one at an Oval. And, of course, we thank all the people that make things happen for the LWRC Cup Series, for Jaden Lawson for putting on the lead together, for the officials, Eli O'Quinn, of course, Aiden Kirker himself, a couple of the drivers, Kobe Wells also involved in that. On behalf of us here at KBRN, for Charlie Baier in the booth, my name is Kenneth Bueno, saying good night from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. We'll see you next week in the Bluegrass State.
Coming up to the line, being chased, and it was Braden Johnson. Unbelievable finish. It was 1/1000th of a second between them.
Green flag in the air. We are racing in the 2020 24 Hours of Daytona.
They go door to door for the feature race lead here on the last lap of the race. Side by side for the race lead in the final corner at Homestead.
Down the back straightaway, 3 wide again for the race lead. This is unbelievable stuff here tonight.
Loma is going to have to be very deep on the brakes, and he is very deep on the brakes. It's side by side through the corner. This is for the win.
It'll be side by side. Davies low, Ottinger high. To the very inside is Garrett Lowe. 4 wide at the stripe. For Audie's win here on this outside line. Neck and neck. Who's going to back out? Does anyone back out? Verstappen starts to squeeze on the inside, and now he'll try and straight line it. Goes under the apron. Drag race to the line. It's so close to call.